Closing roofing sales in 2025 to 2028 is going to change from what we've been used to up until now. And in this video, I'm going to share with you the 3 key points that you need to understand in order to stay competitive and keep closing at a high percentage, even in today's really competitive sales world where homeowners are cross-shopping and price shopping more than ever before. Now, everything that I'm sharing in this video comes from this report, which I just published. It's the 2025 to 2028 roofing market report. The future trends that every roofing company that's doing $2 million plus per year or more must know or get left behind. Now, I spent countless hours sitting down with CEOs of private equity groups, people sitting at the table with insurance companies, some of the world's most prolific and incredible marketers who are observing these future trends, getting into the data from our industry, and I broke down these 9 market conditions. I'm not gonna break all these down in this video, but you can get a copy 100% free. You go to the link in the description or to roofmarketreport.com. Go to roofmarketreport.com right now and grab your copy. But now let's jump into this video so you know how to take this research and get your first mover advantage so you can stay competitive and close even more sales from 2025 until 2028. Adam Bensman here. Welcome or welcome back. Let's get started. All right, first, before we get into the 3 things you need to know, we need to lay some groundwork about what the future of roofing sales looks like. And again, this is from the research. Now, number 1, homeowners are going to be doing more research than ever before. And they want answers to their question right now. In the past, we used to encourage homeowners to book an appointment so we could deliver all the information that we wanted to deliver, to control the dialogue in the home. But that landscape is changing. Roofing companies now, and will continue to use tools like Roofle as an example, or any other various online instant estimators. They're using tools like chat widgets so homeowners can interact and get answers to questions like that. We're seeing more content marketing and even AI call services that are able to answer phones for inbound leads, field common questions, qualify homeowners, and book appointments. So what this means to us in sales is that homeowners are going to be sitting down to meet with us further along through the sales process than they've historically been. And this means that we need to shift how we approach the sale, knowing where the homeowner's at. Now, in the past, selling, especially if you've tuned into my channel over the last 10 years of making videos and training roofing sales reps all over the country, in fact, even the world, Canada, Australia, Sweden, to name a few countries outside the US that I'm serving folks. And what we've done in the past is focus on education. Now, although that philosophy is still important, how our homeowners are receiving that information is changing, and I detail that in the report. Now, the next thing you need to know is that homeowners are stuck in their homes right now. Why? Because many people during the 2020 era refinanced their home or purchased a home. They got in at these 2 to 3% interest rates. Well, that's not the case now. So many homeowners, if they move and buy a new home, what this means is that their cost of living could double. So they're stuck in their house. Now, what this also means is that homeowners are more likely to spend even more on roofing because it might be the last roof they buy because they're staying in their house. Now, when you pair this with the reality that home insurance is skyrocketing, states like Florida and Colorado, where premiums for some people have more than doubled in a single year, which, by the way, for me personally, my premiums more than doubled in a single year. This was last year. And for my roof, my deductible converted just for hail or wind to a percentage of home value, and the percentage of home value doesn't even actually cover my roof, which means I basically have to pay for my roof out of pocket, and I still have insurance for any other things on a special deductible. So we're seeing homeowners feeling this pressure from insurance companies, especially as carriers say, hey, if your roof is 10 or 15 years old, you have to replace it or we will no longer insure it. So now that we know where homeowners are coming from, there's one final piece of information I want to share with you, and then I promise we're going to get to these 3 points. And that is this. The roofing market is set to grow, predicting at 4 to 6% per year. Now that sounds really healthy, doesn't it? 4 to 6% annual growth. That's compounded. So 4 to 6% this year, 4 to 6% the following year. But when you start peeling back the layers of the onion, things get a little interesting, because what we see is shingles square counts. And again, 75% of current re-roofs in America are asphalt shingles, okay? 25% are alternatives like metal or high impact tile, etc. Now, what we are seeing is the square count of roof replacements is only going up about 1% a year. So you might be wondering, how in the world does the roofing market go up 4 to 6%, but square count only goes up 1%? That's confusing. And for the first time in a very long time, we are seeing that the value of the roofing market is actually outpacing the actual growth. Now, to bring all this together and just to make it make sense, what that means is there's going to be less roofs being replaced, but those that are being replaced are at a higher value. Now, why is this? It is because homeowners are more concerned with longevity and ROI than ever before. It's going to help them bring down their costs in the long term as they spend more time in their homes and do everything they can to reduce their insurance premiums. Again, we see this in the report, in the section here on insurance, as I break down, let me scroll down to it right here, that there could be, again, policy restrictions and carriers requiring roof replacements at a certain year. And then again, the restrictive statewide legislation led by lobbyists. We are seeing, example, in some counties in Colorado, if you replace your roof, it is required to be a Class 4 shingle. Required. I would not be surprised, and it is one of my predictions in this report, that carriers out west, where there's crazy fires, are going to require fire-resistant products like metal roofing. So we are starting to see a larger percent of that small 25% of the re-roof market in residential roofing grow and start taking market share from asphalt shingles. Same thing as Class 4 impact-resistant shingles become more commonplace. So what does this mean to you? Well, it's important to have this fundamental understanding of the changes coming in the roofing sales world so you know how to sell. So here are the 3 things that are going to change your closing game. Thing number 1 is we need to focus on ROI, that is return on investment, in a way that we haven't had to talk about before. For most folks, it was selling the product or the experience or the fact that the insurance company was paying for 95 or 99% of the roof and the homeowner only had to pay their deductible. But now a homeowner wants to know, what's my return on investment? Am I going to have to go through this process in another 10, 20, 30 years and buy a new roof when I'm stuck in this house? So people are thinking about ROI, which changes your sales process. Number 2 on the list, longevity. Longevity matters more than before. Why? During the last handful of years, 5 years or so since 2020, people were moving more frequently. Now, as the housing market is coming to a bit of a stalemate and houses are sitting on the market, we are seeing people are feeling stuck and trapped. And because of that, a homeowner that might have in the past said, hey, you know what? I'm only going to be in the house for 5 to 7 years. I don't really care about getting it. I just want a roof that's good enough to get me by. Well, now the narrative is changing. So for you, having products in your arsenal, this is the time. If you're not selling or offering let's say a best, better, good, or some people call it good, better, best. I prefer best, better, good because we're price anchoring to the highest package first. This is the time to do that, to show homeowners that you offer these premium products. Maybe it's metal roofing, stone-coated steel, or Class 4 impact-resistant shingles, because homeowners are thinking longer term than ever before. Now, this brings me to point number 3. We are seeing it, and we're seeing it a lot, and you are probably witnessing this right now. And that is, homeowners are price shopping. But it's not only the dollar amounts that matter. In fact, we had a member of RSRA recently share a win in the community that he got a phone call back from a homeowner to move forward even when he was more expensive. And it was because of using the consumer guide. We have RSRA sales tools that provide a lot of this education for homeowners and help overcome the common objections like, why are you more expensive? And he used this guide, and because it came from a third party, the homeowner saw the value, said, hey, I want to move forward with you as opposed to the competitor. So don't think for just a second that you have to race to the bottom when I talked about being cost effective. Cost effective, again, is point number 3, and that is that homeowners need to know that it is affordable today. So imagine this scenario. Imagine that you are coming in behind another roofer. Your bid's at $20,000 and their bid is at $15,000, but they're cash only. And you come in saying, hey, 0% same as cash for 12 months, no payments, no interest for 12 months. Or you say, hey, we can do an affordable monthly investment. I'm going to pull a number out of a hat. $219 over X number of years. Well, this is $219 or 0, and this is $15,000. This is how financing wins time and time again. And it is amazing how many roofing companies either 1, don't offer financing, or 2, if you do offer financing, you're not leading with it in your messaging, on your website, with your team who's setting appointments talking about it, in the email signatures or the appointment reminders, and then opening up your appointments to share how the financing works, because it puts customers at ease. In fact, Christopher Scoville with Improvify, huge shout out. And by the way, I get nothing for this. Chris doesn't even know I'm filming this, but he does such an incredible job at not only helping companies use financing, offering them incredible options with low to no dealer fees, but also in training the team. That's why I had him come and present to the RSRA community a number of times and produce a financing 101 training for our members here in RSRA. So again, your 3 big takeaways. You need to focus on ROI more than ever before. 2, longevity, because people are staying in their home. And this is your opportunity for upsells and premium products. It's a real cash cow, and you could have a first mover advantage. And then number 3 is to focus on being cost effective. Be incredible at selling financing. And you, in sales, when you start wrapping these skills into your toolbox right now, you're going to look back a year from now and be like, wow, I wouldn't be where I am today if I didn't start adapting how I'm selling to fit what homeowners want in 2025 to 2028. Now, if you want to learn my favorite closing technique, jump into this very next video and I'll show it to you. It's really quick, it's really easy, and it's going to help you bring all of this to life. I'll see you in the next one.